Hi, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you are catching us. I am Maria Cosme, also known as Brown Girl Interrupting, and this is Pain to Power, the show where we are healing in community and gaining tools to turn our struggles into our strength. And I love it. Just one love. Welcome to our iRant family. Thank you for joining us. Good evening. Um, and good evening to everyone. Please make sure if you haven't done it yet that you have subscribed to this channel. This is Brown Girl Interrupting and brought to you in association with the iRant Network. Make sure that you hit the bell for notifications of the shows that come on every Sunday and share a comment throughout. We are having a great conversation today, and I want to make sure that you are part of this conversation. So throw in questions in the chat. Leave your thoughts in the comments if you're watching the rebroadcast, and make sure that you're passing this along for anyone else who needs some tools for healing or just some dynamic stories of people who have found their grounding and now are leading with love. As many of you know, maybe, is that I am a mother, and I am a mother of 4, but 3 of them are boys. And, in my 20s, I was raising little boys. Now in my 40s, I am raising men. And there's a lot of lessons that I've been learning, particularly one of how do men deal with and express their emotions and the importance of that. Because what I have learned is that when boys and men stay silent, we are not healing. And so part of today really is to break some of that silence, to honor the humanity of men, women, of all of us, and recognize how our voices, our stories, and our ways of leading are how we transform and heal each other. So I'm really excited to welcome someone who is taking art, his voice, his curation, his entrepreneurship, and his mentorship and transforming his pain into power. Please welcome Chet Been Cool, the artist and entrepreneur. He's the host and the curator of Pen, Pads, and Poetry, featured at Burgers of Apollo. He is the founder and CEO of Pop-Up Pastries and the co-founder and president of the board of Dare to Care. Please give a warm welcome to the brilliant and dynamic Chet Been Cool.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Mara. Um, I don't think I've been introduced so nicely before.
I love that, and I'm so glad that you feel that because I feel you have a presence, and it's hard to capture people with such a presence sometimes in a succinct bio, right?
Mm,
But I met you just over maybe about a year ago, right,
yeah.
at Lemonade Dreams event, the Winter Weary Blues.
Yes.
And there was quite an impact that you leave in the space and the way that you create the space. So I'm excited to have you on here because this has been exciting. I've been interested to hear more about your story and to share it with others. So thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. It's something that I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. It's something that I've been looking forward to. We've been discussing and planning, so I'm glad that we were finally able to get together.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're a busy guy. But so wait, so let's start first. I gotta ask, and I'm sure you get this a lot in most of your interviews with conversations as a poet, right, and an artist. But Chet Been Cool, tell me about your your name, the significance, and what it means for you.
Um, well, I've never actually explained my name before. Chet is my grandfather's name. It's short for Chesterfield. So,
Mm.
um, I was at his funeral, and one of my cousins I've never met, he told me that he was like, you must be Uncle Chet's grandson. So I was like, yeah. He said, I know because I can tell you Uncle Chet been cool. He said, so then that's how I started Chet been cool.
That's beautiful. It's a real legacy you carry on.
Yeah.
And this is for everyone. If you have not listened to his poetry and checked out his haikus, which are powerful, right? I mean, when you can make so much power with 3 lines, that says a lot about your artistry and your passion and awareness of everyone else and everything around you. So you're doing him justice and leaving that legacy for Uncle Chet well. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so that was my first time meeting my cousin, and it was his uncle, so he was like, "Yeah, I can see how you're his grandson." So it was, and I've adopted. It was about I've adopted the name ever since.
I
I
love
already had the
that.
middle name, but the Chet Been Cool part was when I heard him call my grandfather Chet.
That's awesome. Do you see parts of yourself, like parts of him in yourself too, like elements of like what you know about your grandfather?
Mm, I would like to say so. Um, Very reserved. Um, he was not as vulnerable as I am with being open, but he was very reserved and all about action. He didn't, yeah, wasn't a whole lot of talking. He just did what he was supposed to do, and that was it.
I love that. Um, and so to that point, right? You said not as vulnerable, but you are, and you share a lot about your own stories through your writing and in our conversations. I always ask everybody who comes on here what for them the meaning of turning pain into power is. So I'm wondering for
Mm,
yourself, what does that mean for you?
um, so many things. I think that's a part of the balance of life, I guess. That life and death thing, and finding, you find or grow more in your pain. I think yeah, I don't think if I didn't experience so many hardships, I wouldn't be the man that I am.
Mm.
Those things that what is it? You get proven or tested by fire. So, you know, but and if you're able to come out of it, you're able to share those experiences with others, and hopefully they can get some lessons from it. A smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from others. So hopefully people can learn from some of my mistakes.
And the fact that you're being open and sharing them so others can learn is huge, right? That's a big piece.
Yeah, it's we all make them. So it's no use in me being ashamed of mine or embarrassed. And thankfully I've been able to come back from so many mistakes. You know, um I had to look it up, but I have a haiku about that as well.
Well, I hope we're gonna be able to hear some of these haikus because they're really powerful, and they leave a mark, I think, on your listeners because they touch the soul. Like
Mm,
this is really, I think, the words that you find and that you're able to put together and the way that you speak, you're helping others to gain the language that I think a lot of times they may not have, right? Particularly
mm,
as men. So, I mean, let's talk about that. For me, this story really is always in the show is about the story behind the story, right?
yeah.
Um, and you share pieces of yourself in your poetry, but what is the story of Chet growing up? Um, the man that you've become has come from where in your own journey?
Mm. He's still becoming. But DC native, born and raised in DC, grew up in projects in Southeast. And growing up in DC in the 70s and 80s, it's drugs and gangs and violence. Um, a lot of poverty. Um, and so many of the what do you call it? Same stories. No dad, drug addiction, and so many other things. Um, but with community, some people that have mentored me, um, I've been able to correct a lot of the things that I've been experienced. I Yeah, I think if it had not been for mentoring, someone seeing something in me and investing in me, that I might still be adrift, as one of my haikus said. A man without purpose is
Mhm.
lacks direction and will always be adrift. And I was that man, or that young man, or boy at one point, and someone actually thought something of me and invested in me and took time and gave me attention.
How'd that change things for you?
Made me value myself. Um, we grew up, I don't say we, I grew up not thinking I would make it to 21. So, um, someone believing that I could, and that's bare minimum. But someone believing that I could be something meant the world to me.
Mm. That's so important, I think, because I think of, I'm hearing this now, but maybe many people are hearing this for the first time now when it comes to you and knowing you, even after knowing
Mhm.
you for many years, right?
Yeah.
But what what was so big for me is in the space that I met you
Mhm.
alongside several young men,
Yeah.
and those young men
Mhm.
were these strong and kind and thoughtful and talented young boys who you have mentored, and they've seen you and been around you and worked with you, right? And I think that that is such a testament to the journey that you've taken. So, for you, your mentorship led you into a space of
Mhm.
of changing your life, right?
Mhm.
What was the change for you from that mentorship, from that experience? How did that lead you towards art and creating?
Um, not sure exactly. But I know that when did mentoring? I've
Or
had several
even
men. Sorry.
I know, I was saying, like, I mean, even if it wasn't mentoring, I'm just like, your journey is that now you are writing and you are speaking and you are doing so much with your voice. How did you find that voice?
Um, Admitting I didn't know it all. Um, Allowing people to pour into me. Um, Allowing myself to be vulnerable. Knowing that I could, yeah, I could be vulnerable and strong, and not not second guess that strength. That it's okay to be a quiet confidence and not have a false bravado. Um, yeah, I've seen so many. I've lost a lot of friends and mentees. Um, so for me, it was, do I want to be one of them, or yeah, what do I want to be? And always wanted to be something. So just never gave up. And
Mhm.
when someone invested in me, it made me start thinking differently. And it was actually someone outside of family. So, and that what I
Mm,
think was key. It was why would they invest in me?
mm.
Why what do they see that nobody else sees?
Did do you feel that you were more open to that guidance because of that, being outside of family?
Hmm. Didn't get it from family in that way. So it was you know, something new and refreshing, something foreign. And in family, we were all, you know, taught to be strong, you don't cry, you fight, you you don't run. So it was learning to balance that, to use your voice and allowing your voice to be as strong as your muscles. Um, but I didn't, I learned that late in life. But that's what's, someone invested in me and showed me to use that talent, to use that
Mm.
strength, that all battles aren't fought with fists.
But it sounds like there was a lot of, like, mindset shifts almost, right? Because you've got the opposing
Yes,
messages from, like, "This is what home
yes,
is, this is what I'm
yes,
used to."
yes. Um, One of my mentors would say, if you change um, influence by about 5%, you can change an environment, you can change your life. So, one person out of like 100 was a big change for me. So I try to be that person now for somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, but I think that's how we have to look at it, is that
Mhm.
you impact one person, you've impacted one person who actually impacts more people in their
Yep.
life, right? So
Hmm.
even though it's one, there's a residual,
Yep.
there's a return on that investment.
Yeah. You never know what ripple will affect you or who that person be, because what will be. I imagine they may have known, but I never knew I would be the person I am. Um,
Mm,
so, and that's not, and I say that humbly, but I am thankful I've helped some people. I am very thankful I've helped some people. So, um, and they're making impacts, and it's amazing to see. One of my young men is a lawyer, or he's close to being a lawyer now. Um, One is engineer. I have a lot of young men that have accomplished some things, and I'm proud to have been on a journey with them.
that is a powerful story to be able to tell and carry and hold responsibility for and to watch, right? I saw that some of your young men also are performing, so you've influenced some performers too, right? Like some poets are budding from it, and so there's a I mean, the power in that is not only are you changing lives, but you're giving voices to some individuals,
Yeah,
right? That's
um,
that's huge.
they are very talented. I can't say that I influenced them. Their talent. I'm glad that if I inspire them to share or to voice their talents, to promote their talents, I'm thankful in that way. But a lot of them amaze me at how talented they are at such a young age. I'm like, wow, if w- where have I been and what have I been doing when I hear some of the things that
Mm.
they say and do at 14, 15, and 16, they give me so much hope. And they let me know that this work is not in vain. So it's because so many don't. So when I
Yeah,
see them, it feels good. So yeah, at that event, it was nice. So many of them came out.
they did, and
Mm,
they were amazing young men. And I
yeah.
think, I could see the um the way they had a lot of appreciation for the presence and the role that you play in their lives. So let's pull it back just a little bit because I think it's so important to recognize how all of that came to be. So you are an artist, but you are also the co-founder and the president of the board of Dare to Care, which is a big piece of this relationship you have with these young men. Tell me a little bit about when that started, how that started.
Mm. Um, Dare to Care International is a international nonprofit. I'm one of the co-founders. I'm not one of the initial founders. They started it without me and brought me in very early. But we do mentoring, food insecurity, health advocacy, and I mean community advocacy and health awareness locally and internationally. We work with shelters, Boys and Girls Club, and other nonprofits to try to just, help where we can. And a lot of my colleagues, their background is in food insecurity and education and awareness. Mine's is in housing and mentoring,
Mm.
and I specialize in project management, other stuff as well. But so we've collaborated combined our skills to just be try to serve our community better. So we do work with. We've had young men from Philadelphia, Baltimore, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, of course, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, that we bring to DC. They work with me over the summer for 3 months. Some of them live with me over the summer.
Mhm.
Um, and just try to give them a change of environment. Um, that was big for me. Being able to, mm, excuse me, being able to see life from a different perspective. Um, knowing that just because it seems like it's easy for me, it's not. And but getting to enjoy my the privileges I've earned in life. So it's that's one of the things we do. We work with the Carpenter Shelter locally, donating funds, food, and volunteer time to cook in the shelters. And we do a lot of programming or initiatives in Africa around food insecurity and community support and advocacy. One of we support blind soccer, and one of South Africa's emerging leaders, 30 under 30, he won the Rising Mandela,
Mm.
and he um, yeah, very proud of him. Very proud of him. But he's one of my mentees as well. Um, but he's 30 under 30, and he's number one in all of South Africa. So we've been doing quite a bit of work.
That is powerful and important, and it sounds like you're making an impact in so many different places, right? And from what I'm hearing is that this is all also part of your own healing, right? This is your pieces of
Mhm.
healing. So tell me a little bit about that, like how all these different aspects of what you do is helping you heal.
Um, I would feel like trash if I didn't do it. Someone did it for me, and I remember drowning when I remember that feeling. I remember being saved, literally. Um, so it's altruistic, but I yeah, it's also selfish. It I really feel good doing it. And yeah, I feel like it gives me balance. Um, it of course we all have to work and earn and all of that, but it helps me stay grounded.
Mm.
Um, that I can be useful in the development or aid in the next generation, the next life, and what will be. Um, that means something to me. Um, yeah,
And I
yeah, that means something to me, I guess. It just being able to help someone after being helped, it feels like I'm paying it forward.
And I think, I mean, you said, "What else would I do?" Right? But the truth is that I don't think everyone makes that decision. So
Mhm.
you are choosing. You are choosing this path. You are choosing to do these things, and it's a beautiful thing for it to bring balance for you as you heal, but you're also healing others. And I think sometimes that is really important in healing is that we can't do it alone.
No,
We have to do it in community.
yes. And these I gain strength from these young men. They look to me, but I look to them too. Um, I see like they give me hope for tomorrow. So, and they make me want to be better. So, and you're right, so many of us have choices that we make, and I think it's definitely not an easy choice to make most days because you have children, as do I. I'm working with children, young people, can be frustrating. Um, excuse me. Um, but it's so rewarding and
Mm.
it's an intrinsic value that you get from it. And I think that they'll be in position to do the same things. And I have children. I have a son. I pray
Mhm.
someone pours into him. I pray that these seeds that I'm sowing, that one of them will grow back selfishly and help my children. Um, of course, I'm here for my children, but I'm sowing seeds so the future can be better for us all, not just these young men, that they can create a better future for someone around them. So,
I mean, absolutely, right? And I think I love that, I mean, you said it, right? That yes, you're there and yes, you're supporting your children, but it takes a village. It takes a village, right? And I think that's just it is that it has to be more than just the immediate people around children in general for them to see the
uh,
whole scope of everything,
hang on.
right? And to be seen in all the ways. Is everything okay? Chet, can you hear me?
I think I lost some audio.
Oh, okay. I'll work on some of this. So
Can you hear me, Maria?
I can
Maria?
hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh no.
Okay. We're going to figure out our technical and we'll take a quick little commercial break. So, in addition to this
I
show,
can't hear
many of
you.
you have seen
That's some technical difficulties.
I think, yep. So we're going to figure out the technical. And many of you have seen that I have been promoting, talking about, and really encouraging, and probably maybe even sent you any messages about the courses that are coming up for me. My course that I have created is called Empowerment Unlocked. And it really is about unlocking the power within all of us, similar to this, right? We are healing, we are gaining the tools to heal. So you can join me on a 5-week guided course, which starts this Thursday, but there's still time to sign up on understanding how do you unlock the power within you by recognizing some of those patterns of behaviors and socialization that you have internalized and that you have been doing without even realizing it. And sometimes we wake up and we realize that the life we're living isn't the one that we actually really want to be in. So come join me. You're going to see this promo real quick. It's going to go up, and then I'll put the link in the chat for you to make sure that you register for Empowerment Unlocked. I used to think that being a good mother meant I had it all and did it all. Never show any weakness, always holding it together. But what I've learned through the experience of raising 4 children through divorce, transitions, and growth is that the real strength is in my mindset shifts. It's letting go of the story that I have to be everything to everyone and starting to ask, what do I need to do to come home to myself? Those are the kind of shifts we're going to make together in Empowerment Unlocked, because when we change our story, we change our outcome. So join me to start your sessions. The link is in my bio, and follow me on Brown Girl Interrupting on Substack, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All right. The link is right here. Make sure that you are registering, and I know we can throw it up on the screen as well. Make sure that you are registering and getting your spot. So, because this is a process that is open to everyone. It's not just women, it's men. All of us are in a space where we need to heal, where we are trying to find our grounding. And we've been talking about it today. Chet, how are we doing over there? Spots are still
Good.
open. Please register.
Thank you for walking in your calling and um, working on healing and promoting healing and advocating for that space. Interesting. Mentioned how men we're taught to be silent and strong, and every time I talk to you, you get me all emotional. I try as much as I try to be open, but I try not to be so emotional. But I don't want to say triggering because it's not even that I'm triggered. It feels like you stir up. Oh, and it's not even uh old, but like things that remind me.
Mm.
Um and sometimes you don't think about it until certain moments. And when one of the issues for a lot of us has been emotional intelligence, how to
Mm.
navigate our emotions and not be so much in control of them, but to process them properly. So, um, our conversations tend to ignite something in me or awaken something in me. Like I said, I don't mind being transparent at all, but it really you really tend to, how they say, bring it out of me.
I thank you. I mean, I'm gonna take that as a positive.
Definitely, I
That
do mean that.
I've made that space for you to feel that you can come as your full self.
Yes,
Um,
you
and
take my guards down.
that's
Good.
always my goal. My goal, not to take people's guards down, but my goal is for everyone to come. That would be crazy. No, I mean, but for everyone to be able to come up in their authentic self, right? Like be your full
Yes,
self.
yes,
And so, I
yes.
mean, I appreciate that you brought that up, because I think for me, and I think for this space, I would really appreciate, because you are right. Like here you are, you're on a show and you're letting your guards down, right? But and I may have allowed for it right now in this moment, but you wouldn't do that if you yourself didn't have the awareness of yourself to be able to know yourself so well. So, you're working with boys, you're helping guiding them, a lot of them to be men. How do you help and guide the emotional intelligence aspects as they're navigating their own lives, right? Mentorship is so much more than just here's a skill, right? Or here's how you get your school stuff done. It's really crafting and cultivating who someone is becoming?
Um, that's hard because you don't want to imprint on people in that way that they're not them, but you want them to have character. Because you want them to be their authentic, genuine selves. You don't want them to be a copy of you. Um, but you also, like you said, you want them to be open and transparent and
Mhm.
strong enough to walk into whoever it is that they've been called to be. Patience, patience, persistence, and repetition. It's a lot of the same. Um, you say it and say it again. You say it and listen, and you got to be open to. It's almost like any. I equate it to sports. You gotta get the reps in. You got to put up a lot of
Mhm.
shots.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
um, Cause and I was them. So I was one of them young men that used to, and I was smart, but I thought I knew more than I did. And
Mm.
they're smart, and they think they know more than they do. And so you got to let them know some things, and that kill that confidence. And but be there. It's just a persistence and patience. They gonna get
Mhm.
on your goddamn nerves. You gonna want to choke them. I don't want to hit. I have hit some people's kids, um, and I've gotten in trouble for hitting people's kids. Um, but it was out of love. I didn't hit them to like beat them up or abuse them. I was like, boy, you know better than this. We just talked about this, and when he told his mama, I was right there, and I was like, yeah, I hit your son. And he know that I was gonna hit him because I told him don't do it. And I was, I figured I was gonna lose my spot on this mentoring thing. I was actually mentoring for the church when I hit this kid. And his mama was like, this hit him again. So but you got to be patient with them. And after you listen to them, fuss with them, hit them, or whatever it is, you apologize. You listen to them again. You talk to them, and you sit with them. It's gonna be the same, not the same thing, but you're gonna keep working through the problems. You're a parent. It's
Mhm. Mhm.
they learn. We all learn through repetition.
Oh, yes, we do. But, I think you brought up some really big points, right? I appreciate it. Patience, persistence, repetition, right? And that's true, but at some point it's hard, right, to get through the barriers there. And you mentioned it. You said and look, I was young too. I thought I knew more than I did too, right? Like, I mean, it's all of us, right? We
Yeah.
always think we know more. That's that whole like frontal lobe isn't like, it hasn't quite formed, right? But we think we know everything because we're in our 20s and we're smelling ourselves, right? Like we're feeling ourselves. We believe that we know it all. But you mentioned killing that confidence. I've never actually had anybody say that to me, but tell me, like, as a man, particular, and I'm asking as I am raising kids. I'm raising 3 boys, and I do the heavy lift alone as their guidance, but I'm not a man. So I think I often talk about this idea is that I have like a theoretical idea of what it is to raise a man. I don't have an experiential idea of what it is to raise a man. So when you
Mm.
think about that, kill that confidence, I've never considered that. And I don't know if there are mothers on here that maybe are in that same place. What does that look like when you break through the barrier of because I heard it's almost like with love. It's that push, but also that care at the same time.
It's uh exactly as you described it. Hard finding the sweet spot, but if you keep going, you'll find it. With everybody's different, of course.
Mm.
I had one kid, he's actually related to me, but um distant relative. Um he's heavy in basketball, but he wouldn't listen. he wouldn't listen to anybody. So he
Mm.
thought he could beat me. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna play you, but I'm gonna play you like you're a man since you talking like a man. And I was really, really rough on him. I mean, hard. His mama was mad at me. And he cried at the end of the game. And I sat on the ground with him and I was like, I know it hurt. I didn't even
Mm.
want to play you like this, but you made me do this. If you would have listened, you wouldn't have got this. And now he's dangerous. I'm talking about he's one of the best basketball players in Delaware, Philadelphia. And he's doing his own investments, all kinds of stuff. So
Mm.
and very, very confident. But it was showing that I don't know. Like I said, it's different with everybody. You just gotta
Is it, like,
you
humbling? Like, you have
it
to get
is.
kids to be humbled a little bit.
You do humble without being broken.
Mm.
'Cause
Mm.
and being there to not just like knock them down, but go down with them and pick them up too. Cause they
Mm.
man, so yeah, but he was really hurt. And I was like I said, I was sad, but and I didn't just like talk shit. It's like, nah, I knew you couldn't fuck with me. I told you young and I'm this, that. Nah, I knew you couldn't do it. And but one day you will be able to be better. Like right now, he's like 18, 19. And I can't beat him in basketball no more. And I'm still nasty. And I'm still good. I mean, I'm
Right,
still
right.
good. And he's a better trader than me. And he's 19.
Mm. Mm.
So he dropped back a little bit, but it was almost like he found a spring and propelled so far, so much
Mm.
forward. So, but it's just being there for them and enduring that hard moment with them and not letting them fall into despair.
Yeah.
I think despair by itself or by yourself um, can be a dark place for some of us or all
Mm.
of us.
All of us, yeah. Yeah. Um, so do you see then, I mean, given that not falling into being alone, right? Like, are there communities and connections built between some of these young men too that they're helping each other, like, kind of those planting seeds?
Yes, it's weird, but yes, they text, call, ask about each other in between each other. You know what I mean? It's like they have their own network now. Um, and they'll ask me questions, and I'll say, "You should ask such and such about this." You know, he does that. And when the new kids are getting ready for college, I call the older kids. Um, can you talk to this guy? Can you reach out to him? Um, and they don't mind. And I do the same thing with my network. That's one of the things that I appreciate and I wish I had. Um, a group of men I could call and ask, I want to do this. Which way should I go? Do you know somebody
Mhm.
I could talk to?
Mm, mhm.
So any of the young men that work with me, if I don't have a job for them, I'm gonna call somebody. If you need to talk to a lawyer, I'm gonna call somebody. If you want to get into medicine, I'm gonna call somebody and we're gonna figure out some placement for you and how we can connect you. Um, because if I don't have it, somebody I know has it, or someone I know knows somebody.
Mhm.
So
And
it's
and
about
that's modeling, right?
mhm,
It's showing them how to stay connected, how to help each other out, how to guide each other, and it's okay that you don't have the answer, but you can help someone still figure it out.
yep.
That's awesome, and that's powerful. I do, because a lot of this is your mentorship, but your creativity and your artistry goes deeper than a lot of all of this. And I want to talk about we've got Chief Flavor Creator and CEO of Pop Up Pastries as your handle here in terms of what you are known for. So let's talk about Pop Up Pastries. Where did that come and how does that play into your expression and healing as well when it comes to being in the kitchen?
Well, chief flavor creator is I was talking with my team and they asked me about titles and stuff like that, and of course, CEO. But I was like playing around and I was like, you know me, I'm the chief flavor creator. If it got style and swag, I did it. And they was like, I like that. You know what I mean? And it just stuck. But I've been baking since about 8 years old. My grandmother taught me how to bake, and I've been experimenting with it ever since. I like sweets. I have a sweet tooth, and yeah, I can cook, but sweets have always been my thing. So before, even now, I will buy sweets from anywhere just to see what it is and if it's any good. And that's from cakes, cookies, candies, pies, tarts,
All
whatever it is.
All
Yeah,
the
if it's
sweet treats. I love that. Okay, well, first of all, kudos to you. I don't bake at all except for banana bread. Like that's the that's my height of
mm,
anything. I cook though. I can cook. I love the kitchen.
nice.
And I love creativity in the kitchen, but do not give me something where I have to be so measured at all. But I love it because I feel like again, this is legacy, right? Like your baking is your legacy. And if y'all have not tried pop up pastries, I'm gonna need you to go and find the link below if you're not going to go in person, but in person you can also go and try some pop-up pastries, right? Where do we go for pop-up pastries in person?
You can go to Burgers Apollo, and soon, you can already order on my website, but soon I'll be doing an official rollout on the website. Um, and a lot of things coming up soon. I don't want to jinx anything, even though I don't believe that it can be jinxed. Um, but I've been working hard on my infrastructure and some partnerships, and I'm really excited about some things to come. I've been even this weekend or today, I had a meeting with some high profile clients. I'm looking forward to making an official announcement coming up soon. But I've been baking for over 40 years, and it was something that I just love doing. I've been giving cakes away for 20 years. Just would bake cakes and
Mhm.
give them away. And one of my business partners was like, "All right, that's enough free cakes. We got to start doing something with this." And I was like, "Okay." And I just, not formally trained. I like to just get in the kitchen and play around, and that's how I'm able to create the flavors that I have. My own recipes, my own flavors. You know, 8 main flavors, 32 or more specialty flavors, some seasonal flavors, and I'm gonna do a special promo with you. Have a flavor of the month club coming up next year.
Okay. Oh, I like
And
that. Okay.
thank you, thank you. That's that creativity and business, savvy coming together. But I got a flavor of the month club coming up that I'm going to be doing, and we're doing a nonprofit gala for Dare to Care, so I'm going to be auctioning off like 2 flavor of the month clubs. So if you win this prize, uh, I will deliver a flavor of specialty flavor every month for 2026, starting in 2026. So the first month you'll get 2 dozens. One will be a mixed dozen, and then this middle of the month, your regularly scheduled dozen will arrive, and you'll know what those the flavors will be prior to. And so, what we're going to do with some of your followers, and family, we're going to also allow some of your followers and fans. All they got to do is get in your DMs, say pop up, follow pop up pastries and treats. We'll create some parameters around it, but we're going to give one of your followers opportunity to win one of those memberships as well. Cake of the Flavor of the Month Club from
I
Papa
love
Pastries
that,
and
and
Treats.
Imma tell y'all, get on that. Get on that because these are delicious. Like, I actually so I was, my daughter, I don't know if you saw her, she was here earlier. She's always here, she's here every other week, and she helps me with production. So,
Nice,
when she's
nice,
here with
nice,
me, she's 9, and I was telling her
nice.
about the show, and I said, "I got a pastry chef and a poet on," and I showed her your site. She was like, "I remember when you brought those home because I did. I brought them home from Lemonade's event, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, those were delicious." So, Imma tell y'all, please, if you aren't getting on it, I know Imma sign up because I would love 2 dozen,
Well,
um,
unfortunately,
lots of
unfortunately, I
lots
don't
of
know if the
friends to share
host
with.
is eligible. We're gonna have to check with management to see if the host is eligible. But you're definitely, I would definitely come through and bring a dozen to you wherever you are, or you know what I mean. And that dozen, when you order the Flavor of the Month Club, I mean, join or enter the Win the Flavor of the Month Club. You may not even be a sweets person, but you can have it delivered to your office, and if you
Right.
win.
I mean, look,
So
plenty to share. They're good size. Like, that's like a
yeah.
good, like, 2 meals for me. It's like but they really no, it's delicious, and I love that, and that's another element of you. But in addition to all of this, you also have your book, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to promote and talk a little bit about your book, Heart of a Ghetto Boy. Tell us a little bit about the book itself and where we can find it.
Yes, ma'am. Can I pause and say something? One more thing about Papa
Absolutely.
Page,
Yes.
uh, and about your daughter. Shout out to the 9-year old helping mama, and what you said. It's about legacy for me. Papa Pastries is my kid's business. Um,
Mm.
this is now. I have a partner and all this team and all that. It's a lot of people behind the scenes. I am the baker and the face and all of that stuff, the creator and all that. But it's my kids' business. It's my kids' business. My
Mm.
daughter's
I love that.
uh my daughter helps me bake. She helps me box. My son helps me box, and he will eat any of them. Baby, he's like one of my
Sample taste
flavor.
tester.
Yeah, but um this is their business.
Mm.
Everything that the proceeds either go to Dare to Care, my nonprofit, or to my kids. This, like I said, this is really for them. So But when you mentioned your daughter, that reminded me of why. Um, we have a lot of reasons we do things, but they are my whys.
Mm.
Why I do it, why um, I didn't go to sleep. I've been no sleep, um, baking this order um, for this client that I still can't say the name of, um, but it was worth it because why I'm doing it. Um, So let me ask a question before I go into the book.
Mhm.
The daughter helps you with the production and everything at 9. How how does that feel? Because my daughter is asked, because she's also into art, and has asked me about some of the online stuff, and I'm open to it. It's just I'm curious because as a mom and a young child, and excuse me, with the online world, how you feel about it as well, and if your daughter
Mm.
is.
Mhm. Well, first, can I say I love that connection of legacy with your children. I think for me, it's a lot of that too. I think everything that I've been building and I know I build is for my kids, right?
Mhm.
And it's everything I'm doing to heal is for my children to be better in who they are, right? To be able to
Yeah.
learn for that sake. With my daughter, so she's not on any social media, like herself, right? She has nothing of
Mhm.
her own. She is a part of my story because she is a part of my story.
Mhm.
So that's about it, right? Like she doesn't have anything of her own. And in terms of like production, she loves to be, I mean, like, I love it how you said, like, your kids are helping you, bake and pack and, like and they see there's something beautiful about experiencing and being a part of the production of something, in the final product because you see all that goes into it. So part of why she does it is she watches how much I'm balancing, right? Like, okay, you got to get dinner and we got to
Mm.
get ready for bed and we're doing all this, but I also got to get my makeup on and I got to get ready and we got to put the lighting on. So like as I'm doing it, she's like, "I'll do your lighting." Like she's watched me. Like literally she has. She's watched me put up the lights and like she's like, "You just sit down. I'll figure out the right lighting cuz I can see you and you can't see you." And I was like, "That's
Nice.
actually a solid point," right? Like
Yeah.
but I think it's, she's such a blessing in my life. Like, I appreciate you asking me about her. I'm going to go a little bit off in tangent here because she is a blessing in my life. But I think honestly, so much of that is because I mother so differently with her than I did with my boys. I
Mm.
was not able to have the capacity to be this at ease and this at peace
Mm.
to make decisions
Mm.
that were for just the good of me and the good of everyone around me.
Mhm.
Um, when my boys were, I mean, they're in their 20s now. So when they were 9, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was a broken woman. Um, I had no idea who I was. So the
Mm.
power of knowing who I am, the power of all that I've done with this show and with this legacy that I'm leaving is what allows me to bring my daughter in with no ego, with no like, I don't have to control anything. It's really like, yeah, just be a part of it. And it's beautiful because we get to do it together and we're building something together and you see the purpose of everything, right? So your children are seeing the purpose of everything that you do. Yes, it's pastries, but these pastries are also part of a nonprofit. And yes, they watch you help others. And sometimes it's like, okay, I got to sacrifice the time with you to go do this. Like I might not be at that game and I might not be able to make it to school, but I'm here doing some big things and it's for a bigger purpose for us. I think that's so important.
Very well said. It's interesting. Yeah, I took my kids to Africa once, and well, they've been to Africa with me a couple of times. But for Christmas, I took them once for Christmas, and while we were there, I had my nonprofit did a shopping spree at Toys R Us, and we took 75 kids to Toys R Us for Christmas. So when we got back home the next year, my daughter was like, "Daddy, I want to take all the kids in my school to Toys R Us." I was like, "Why you want to do that?"
That's what it is, Dad. We just take kids sometimes around
she,
to get them all gifts.
she was like, "We did it in Africa." I was like, "Oh no, no, no." So, but you're right. They get to see that side of you, and
Mhm.
so and they've been to the homeless shelters with me. They know that they get to see that work and have done some of that work with me, but it's just, yeah, that was just a funny story
That's
reminded me.
funny.
But
And they get to see the humanity of all of it,
yes.
right? Like, so it's not just we're doing something from others. It's like you're building relationships with people and you're
Hmm.
showing them that and you're showing them the humanity of everyone and how important it is to just see and value who people are in all
Yeah.
the different walks of who they are, right?
Yeah. And yeah, like I said, it's and, my altruism has a selfishness to it. I sow seeds, but I want my kids and the kids of the future to benefit from the seeds that I've sown in this world. And you know, I, yeah, yeah, that's the most I guess that I want. I do want the good feeling that comes with it, but I want somebody to benefit from it. I want this to, you know, I mean, the things that I do to, like you said, have a ripple effect. Um, I guess my next you asked about in the heart of a ghetto boy. That is in the heart of a ghetto boy is a collection of my poems that I've written. Some of them are from my youth, not many. The ones that I thought were had like meant a lot to me that I thought that still had made a point in this time. I think some things as times change, some things that just never change, unfortunately. It seems some poems I've written about police brutality, and then you have Trayvon White and Colin Kaepernick and so many other things that happened. And these poems were written years before that. But it's also some poems from the 2023, I want to say, as well, because I have a line or a poem from when one of my mentees were killed in 2023 in what is it?
September 21st.
It, what is it? The first murder in Washington D.C. in 2023 was in my neighborhood and was one of my mentees. So that's one of the poems in the book. It talks about just a lot of what we talked about. What I believe is my purpose in life, the some of the pain, the hardships I've endured growing up in the projects, experiencing poverty. I don't know if I mentioned going, I've been to prison, been abused, and it's so many things and how I've been able to go from, as my mentor says, from the projects to the penthouse. um,
Mm.
so it's but like you said, from pain to purpose, and from
Mm.
pain to power. I didn't know at the moment or in that time. I just was, walking out or living out life. And I'm thankful that my life has added value to others. But the book has some haikus, some poems about my journey, my family, and yeah, my artistry.
Mm.
And all the proceeds from the book go to my nonprofit, Dare to Care
There to care.
International.
I love
so,
that.
so
I mean, and again, everything is coming back to giving back to others. So you say it's, it's not fully altruistic, but it is, right? Like, I think to feel that that you're healing through others, through helping others is not a bad thing. There's a whole lot of worse selfish ways to be, right? Um, but I definitely go and check out the book. Go check out Dare to Care. The links are all underneath here. So go and check them out. Dare to Care International. You can see all the work they're doing. You can get involved. You can probably volunteer, support. Please go check that out. Please go check out the Heart of a Ghetto Boy to make sure that you learn a little bit more about Chet's story and his just all the things and the layers. And I just want to say, Chet, for everything that you share, and you've shared pieces of the journey you've traveled, the evolution that you've had, the pain that you've healed over and over again and are still healing, and you are still showing up. You are still, there, I'm sure, playing basketball, right? On Sundays with your boys. You're out there and you're supporting, you're baking and you're creating with your children. You're giving and being present at Dare to Care and leading others, and you are sharing your voice with your poetry. So, it is the purpose and the power that you have come into through your journey. And I'm so grateful that you came here to share that with us today. And again, pulling it back together, right? Like, this is what this is. We show up in our authentic, able to be our full selves and admit and recognize that we've all had pain, but we can all also choose to heal.
Agreed. Thank you. Thank you. You've said it all. You said what well said. Thank you for creating a space, allowing me to enter and share this space, and for what you're doing for the community and have done for so many others. I have to say this was a big step or a great step for me, not just in the sense of sharing. My story was great, but actually being able to, I've said it before, but it's like I feel like I should have been laying down on a chaise and just letting it out because you create such a warm environment. So thank you for having me on, allowing me to rant. And what is that? Is it I rant that you're
The I
that you're
Rant
on?
Network, that's
So
yes,
thank you, I
with
rant, for
Mr.
letting me
Montaigne
rant.
Magic, yes.
I hope I didn't ramble too much. But I would say with if anything, help somebody that's outside of your normal or direct circle of influence, somebody that even if it's one of your kids' friends or someone at your kid's school, you just don't know. Um, so help somebody.
Mhm,
That's what would be my
mhm.
takeaway from all of this, because that somebody will help that somebody, and that somebody, and that somebody. And one day, if enough of us help somebody, it won't be somebody left to help. We'll all be good.
Can we say that again? Amen. Yeah, like, that's and honestly, that is my hope for the world. That is my hope every day, every time I get on the show, that is my hope. My course, please make sure everybody's going and signing up. That is my hope.
Yes.
It is the more we heal, the more we are able to then help the other people around us, to guide people to be better people in the world and impact those around us. With as much harm and things going on, it is necessary for us to find our voices and come home to ourselves. So thank you again to Chet. Thank you to I saw a lot of my iRant family. I just want to give them a shout out. I saw people in here. Make sure that we shout you out. Thank you, No Holdbacks TV. Salute and thank you for coming up. Thank you for pulling up. And Just One Love. Thank you. And thank you to Living Ishe Live. Peace. And we are so glad to have you. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe, like, comment, share a thought, something that came up with you. Are you thinking about your own healing or what legacy you might be leaving? And make sure you tune in every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. and and join me for Pain to Power with all of my dynamic guests. Go follow Chet and you'll see all the upcoming stuff, including this special for pop-up pastries. And y'all aren't gonna want to miss them because they're delicious. Thank you to
Yes.
my producer, Mr. Ja Logic, Mr. Montaigne, Mr. M, all the names and all the amazingness that he brings to this space and to the iRant Network. Please tune in, follow me, and have an amazing evening, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Peace, love, and light.
Say their names. I know their names. I know the name of the family that owned my family. The people that treated my people like property, bought, sold, and treated my people like a commodity. Mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, whole families sold separately. I know more about the family that owned my family than I know about my own damn family. Descendants from England and live near London, but I have no idea where my family comes from. But look at us now, triumphant through all of the tragedy. Let's take a long, hard look at American slavery. See how our country lacks accountability, refusing to acknowledge her own atrocities. Restitution, reparations, and royalties Hell yes, the government owes us money. Born of royalty and robbed of our legacy, stolen labor, the country owes us plenty. We are not animals, but we were forced to breed like them. We were forced to live, eat, and obey like them, abused and often treated worse than them. But we can't talk about slavery. We must forget it ever happened. You can't pay me enough for all of our pain, but you promised 40 acres and a mule, so I'm here to stake claim. Sympathy for the Jews, we deserve more or at least the same. All of Germany was guilty with the Nazis, but America rejects blame, openly judging others, but never showing any shame. God bless America, but our country is a goddamn shame. The Holocaust began and ended in 15 years or less. Slavery lasting for hundreds of years is hard to digest. Hypertension and heart disease from long periods of stress. And the suffering continues and seems to be endless. But no longer will my people continue to be suppressed. And no, we will not digress. We will continue to push, making forward progress. We will continue to make request upon request until you cut the check and confess. Say their names. I know their names. What's the significance in a name? Names have meaning. They mark our identity, family, tribe, clan, or slave name. For my name's sake, all that they are owed, I am here to stake claim. Ironically, I have both their names. Was he named Adam at his purchase or at his birth? Used to acquire wealth while denying him his true worth. Adam Brown was my great great grandfather. James Shackelford Jr. was his slave owner.